Hi guys, how have you been? I just wanted to come on here to officially seal the Remembrance series, do a little reflection on how that all went down, why I've created it in the first place, what is the best way to move through it, and what you can expect from me moving forward from now on. So, first of all, the reason why I've created the Remembrance series is because I feel that a lot of people are forgotten when it comes to getting yourself out of the darker places of life, as you will. My observation is that a lot of people that get out of it forget the people that are still in it. And apart from that, I needed a structure container, as you will, to create something, a clear journey, a path that you can walk to get out of the darkest places of life. And I felt very strongly that I've went through a lot of processes. And if you don't create something from it, you will forget it. Hence why there are so many people that don't really make content for people that are still there, that are still trying to find a way in life, trying to find their way out of some places that keep them stuck in life because there's a lack of a clear path to walk. Besides that, it was a journey for myself too, to create structure and order in everything that I've learned, and also for my own integration, because that's what I often speak about, right? The importance of integration and embodiment. So this whole journey was also my own journey of integration and embodiment. Just like I mentioned how important it is to create space where pain and suffering and your journey, your life experience can exist outside of you. So it becomes medicine not only for yourself, but also for the people around you. And that's the beauty of transmutation, right? That's also a big part of healing, being able to transmute your pain and your suffering into something that helps not only yourself, but also others, to something that becomes some sort of art. And I know that's a big part of our essence, is being co-creators of life. So it was also a journey for myself to create order and structure in all those different processes. And as a result of that, I started with the idea, okay, I have to create structure, right? So I had to become clear about the journey first. Okay, what steps did I take? Where do I come from? How did I felt in certain situations? What are the actual steps and actions that I took to get out of those places? And I created order and structure for myself in that, with splitting it up in 7 parts that I also brought back to the chakra system. But that on the side for now. The start is obviously where you feel stuck, hence why the first episode is called Loop. That was just my template. Okay, 7 steps to get out. The first idea was to make each episode very short, like 7, maximum of 11 minutes. Well, that went completely different because all episode ceremonies are 1 hour, 1 hour plus even. That was very interesting because I wanted to narrow it down to digestible pieces, digestible videos that were like easy to view, easy to, but something else had another plan that I had to follow. It just went like that. I didn't have any control over it. I created 7 folders for each episode ceremony, 1 folder. The weeks after that, I just started writing everything that I felt, everything that I went through, the decisions that I made, the actions that I took. And that was a big challenge because things were coming through me on random moments. Like when I was in the shower, something came to me. I was like, "Prrrt. Okay, I have to put this in this or this episode." And I was writing it down, running out of the shower, writing it down. Okay, I have to put this in. I have to put this in. But because I was doing that and loading up the information, in the end, it was so much work to bring it down to a reasonable amount, because I already accepted that it wouldn't be 7 minutes anymore, but But then this would be hours and hours. So I had to bring that back and make decisions and bring back the structure into each episode. Like, okay, what are the most important things to mention in this episode? And this episode, it was challenging. But also the recording itself all was very new to me, and like I mentioned a couple of times, I did everything on my phone, and some days I would just let my camera running for 5 6 hours, doing everything in between, eating, going back, talking. A big challenge also was when things came through me, it was like very evident, very clear, very from the heart, from the soul, right? To then have to repeat them in the same way with the same intensity, that was also very interesting. It's just like you have recorded a voice note on your phone and you are all excited, and something goes wrong and you have to do it with the same excitement, with the same heart in it. You know what I mean? That was also very challenging to keep the energy up in the message and replicate how it came through the moment it did. In the end, all of it forced me to deeply reflect, to process everything, to integrate even deeper, and to make decisions about, okay, what things are really important, which things are really helpful also for others, especially for others, because this whole series, I didn't do it for myself. That was not the goal, even though it did contribute a lot to my own process eventually. So the recording was very challenging because obviously in between I had to recharge my phone, the mic, a lot of things went wrong. I've never experienced something like that before. There's a lot of things that come with it, like the lighting, camera settings. But apart from that, the editing. Can you imagine having to bring down 6 hours, 7 hours of material back to one cohesive story that makes sense to others? That was very interesting. But also the editing, like seeing yourself back. First of all, you look different. You are going to put a magnifier on all of your mistakes and all the little things that don't even matter. English words that I didn't pronounce the right way. But the thing is, when you are editing, you cannot redo it, right? It's already done. So you just have to accept it and accept yourself being imperfect, because what's wrong with it? But it's still a very interesting process, looking back at it, moving through everything, the whole process, but also having to edit loads of content. Well, I'm a fast mover. I move on fast. So if I have to go back to things that I've already created in my mind, it was very challenging to finish it sometimes because I already moved on, if that makes sense. In the end, it is about allowing yourself to be imperfect and to grow and to witness yourself evolving. That is what it's all about. And I've made a conscious decision to do it this way. And obviously, I'm going to, create more and grow in everything. But to me, it was very important that people could see how it is when you are just getting started with anything and what that exactly looks like. Because now I have something I can always look back to, and not only me, but also other people, like, oh, that's how it started. That is how it looks. It's imperfect, but it's fine. So, to go into a couple of lessons when it comes to recording and releasing this series, obviously there's a lot more. But to bring it back to the main lessons for now, is that one of my biggest values is freedom, right? But freedom without structure is chaos. So it's very important to have clear containers and structure to make sure that we can move the energy, everything that we processed, back into the tangible. So we become actual co creators of life. So we can create a space where everything that we experience as human beings can exist within a container where it becomes a gift that keeps on giving, where it becomes medicine for ourselves and others, where we can take all these concepts and everything that lives up here back into the world so it becomes actual lived experience. That is where we get to evolve. That is where we get to integrate and embody. So we become instead of just think. So what's next? After the series, Remembrance, that was all about remembering who you are, remembering what you are capable of, remembering that you already have everything you need to get yourself out of any place in life that you don't want to be in. That was the goal of the series. And if you went through that whole series and you have integrated everything that I've shared up until a point that you can at least look at things differently from now on, then that leads us to integration, day to day integration. Like, how do we move that energy into actual lived experience, right? So, that is what I will be focused on moving forward, the day to day integration and being honest about my own process and how I'm moving through things, building things, just like really connecting with people and show how it really is, because life can be very challenging. And as long as we open ourselves up to gain more knowledge and have access to the right tools that we then can apply to our lives so we can live in more comfort, more fulfillment, more peace, more love, while evolving, while doing all of that, then I think we are doing pretty good. Oh, and I did not forget about the request videos. They will be coming. I will weave them through the next episodes that I will release in the coming weeks. Okay, so look out for that. I did not forget about you. Okay, what more? What more? As a couple of you might already know, I've been completely away from social media for over 5 years. Um, Coming back to it, I'm still trying to navigate this space because I don't play tricks of hooking the brain, all kind of psychological things to get people into my space. I don't believe in that. That's not the way I move. I will never lie. I will never buy followers or sell dreams. So it's going to take some more time for me, and I'm completely okay with that because I'm aware of the fact that what I'm doing is not always comfortable, but it does come from love, okay? Because I personally don't believe that love is only about softness. Above all, it's about honesty, because love cannot exist without truth. So, above all, I'm going to be very honest about things, about my own journey, about what you can expect from me. And it will cost time. My energy doesn't work with the fast dopamine psychological tricking things. It just don't. I have to obey to that feeling within my soul, and I will. But I'm deeply appreciative of everyone that is already here with me on this journey. This is just the beginning. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here, and just look out for more. Remembrance was just the beginning. I needed that container, that structure. So I have something for everyone on this journey of finding yourself, finding deep peace, fulfillment, wealth beyond your wildest imaginations. And we are just going to keep climbing, not from force, but from the urge to grow into the person that we can really be, right? So we won't let ourselves be held back by all these imaginary blocks that we put on to ourselves or that have been put on to us by the world. So we're going to break through all those barriers and create a life that we actually want, that we are actually proud of. That's what I'm here for. So be on the lookout for that, and I see you in the next one.